Hi guys, say hello when you hop on. Katie Rex here, your simple stylist. As you can tell, I have my makeup all done, my face application, but today we're going to do a really basic, super quick, super simple eyeshadow look. If you're new here, please say hello. If you're catching this part, you're probably catching me on the replay, so just comment #replay. It lets me know you were able to tune in at a later time, and I love being able to see who is able to catch this on the replay. So, and as you guys hop on, say hi, so that way I know that you're here. So I'll just get right into it. If you are new here, I am an artist with Saint Makeup. It is a cream foundational 3D system that comes in these compacts that are custom to you. So if you are interested in getting your own compact, hit that link above. That will take you to my color match form. Send me a makeup-free selfie, and I will send you your color match results. Also, if you are interested in becoming an artist like myself, hi Kayla. Also reach out. I would love to tell you more about our artist program and all the amazing things that we have to offer as a company. Okay, so I'm going to do a very basic eyeshadow look. Again, you get to create kind of your own custom eyeshadow palette because you would purchase each individual tin. They are magnetic and pop in and out of the compact just like so. So I'm just going to pop it back in. They won't fall out because they're all magnetic. I am going to start with the color over here, actually. This is I think, Rome, which is a very beautiful, shimmery, neutral color. And I'm using our eyeshadow brush. This is by far my favorite brush that Saint has for eyeshadows because of the dome end and the more precise end. All of Saint's brushes are double-ended, which makes it so amazing. More bang for your buck. Okay, so I'm just going to swirl the dome side into Rome, and then I'm just going to tap off the excess. So that way there's minimal product that will allow less fallout, especially if you're new to applying eyeshadows. So I'm actually going to start right at my lash line and work that product all the way up to my eyebrow. So this is a very neutral, almost like shimmery color. There's very little shimmer to it, but there is a little bit there. But you can just see it just kind of helps to neutralize out the tones in my eye and sets a great base for blending. So that is tip number one for all of you folks that are kind of new to eyeshadows. Always make sure, especially if you're putting an eye primer on first. Eye primers are going to be like a cream type base over your entire lid. I just use my cream, because we're a cream makeup base, I just use my brightener color as my base or primer for my eyelids. But before you start applying any other colors, you're going to want to use some type of a neutral tone eyeshadow, or you can use a setting powder, and just brush that all the way across, all the way up. This is going to help to prepare your lid for those shades to be blended, so you don't have anything, one, not blending, and two, residing in your creases, you know, like getting in those creases and not blending well. Okay, so now I have a wash on both sides of that color. That was Rome. Just beautiful, shadowy, basic, neutral. You can see my eyes now are like flush, blendable. So the next color I'm actually going to use is this one. It's called Foxy. It is just gorgeously like goldy brown. I love this color. So I'm going to also go in with the dome end, and it is also a shimmer. So I'm just kind of going in on an angle up and down like this and rubbing in, tapping off that excess. And I'm just going to go right into my crease like so and start dabbing this in and swirling once it's placed in this swirl motion into the inner corner. Okay, so I've placed majority of the product out here on this outside by tapping first, and then to work it into that inner corner and just blend in these light swirling motions to bring any other product into the inside of the corner. So that's going to be, this is like called a windshield motion, and it's just like windshield wiping into that crease. I'm going to take a little bit more on my brush, same dome end, tap off the excess, and I'm going to go right above where I just put that color right in my crease. I'm actually going to go right above it on my actual bone here and do the same thing and just blend it up. So I'm just applying a little more product and blending up. This is going to help create that shadow that you're now seeing. And by placing it just a little bit higher, it helps to get the color out of that crease and onto the brow bone. It helps with anybody's eyes who are like hooded eyes. So hooded eyes means like when you open your eyes, you can't necessarily see your lid like this, where if I open really wide, you can see my lid perfectly, right? So that just helps to get it out of the crease and up onto the bone so you can really see the transition of colors. Okay? Next, I'm going to use, well, I'll do the other side. For a second there, I was just going to keep going on the one eye, but we'll do both sides at the same time. So I tap it in, and then I start swirling and blending it in. And don't worry about this outside here. Let me get it in. Don't worry about this outside here, because when we're all done, we'll just take our brush and just clean up that excess on the outside. I also want you guys to take notice in how I'm holding my eyeshadow brush. You can see I'm holding it very towards the end. This is going to give me the most control over placement of color and the blending activities that I'm doing. And I also have it on an angle shooting like up into that brow bone, which is very different than if you're holding like this and straight on. It really does make a difference for blending and the placement of your color. So just keep note of that, okay? All right, so I have it on both sides blended in. I'm going to deepen that texture and color just a little bit more, and I'm going to go into Trust, which is the color that I also use to fill in my brows. But this time I'm going to switch to this smaller end. You can see it's one of my favorite colors to use on this smaller end. And I'm just going to tap in a couple times, also on an angle, and just tap off the excess. And I'm just going to place a C shape on the corner of my eye. So I'm going right on the brow bone like that. And then I'm going to do an angle up like this from the corner of my eye up towards the corner of my eyebrow, and then right on that brow bone. So this is where we're creating this almost like a sideways V or a C shape, whichever eye I guess you're depending on looking at. And then I'm just flipped it around to the blending buffy side, and I'm just gonna buff that in place. And the cool thing with our makeup, these are such condensed powders and tints that in order to just deepen that color, I could add some more. So it's very buildable if you want to create an even darker look. But this for me is just kind of that everyday colors and shadows. And I'm just blending this V in with the rest of the colors kind of around it. Okay, now I always say whatever you do to the top, do to the bottom. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my brush around because this side obviously is used less. And I'm going to go into this color Foxy and just drag it a little on that side. And then I'm just going to go under my lash line and go all the way across my lash line with Foxy. Okay? I'm going to do that on both sides. And then I am going to take the side that has the darker on it, tap back into Trust. But this time I'm only doing the outer corner here on both sides. That's just going to deepen up the outside and almost create like an eyeshadow type or eyeliner type look. And it's going to open my eyes up by not dragging it like all the way across the bottom. Then I just take it around. I'm just going to blend that kind of up. Again, don't worry too much about any fallout. And we'll just get that cleaned up at the end, cleaning it up. Okay, then the last one I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go into our, these are a couple of our illuminators. This is Glamazing and this is Starlit. And what the illuminators do is some makeup companies call them highlights. We call our foundational system highlight. These are just like that shimmery color that you see people putting on their tops of their cheekbones. I'm actually going to place it on the outer of my brow bone, and I'm going to go into Glamazing, and I'm going to use my ring finger because that has the lightest touch. And when you're using really condensed shimmery powders like this, you're going to get such a more like potent placement by using your actual finger versus using a brush. So just a trick there. I'm going to go into the inner corner of my tear ducts and just tap in there. You can see that starts to brighten that up. And then I'm going to pull a little bit more and get the inside lid right here. But I'm not going to go all the way across. I'm just getting kind of inside. And don't worry, we'll blend that out. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. When you are highlighting the brow bone, I want you to just stick right to the highest point of your bone or your brow arch and just kind of drag it down. Never place a highlight all the way across that whole section, okay? I'm going to tap in the inner corner where my tear duct is, and then just a little bit on my lid here in this inner corner. I'm just kind of shimmering that in place. Okay. Then I'm going to go back in just with that poofy end and blend this together. So it should be a perfect transition between that shimmery color we just put on, the foxy and Rome kind of blend in the middle, and the darker shades on the outside. So it's almost like a ombre. So I'm going to just lightly dust and tap those together to give that a blended look. Just kind of clean up the outside with a clean finger. There we go. I'm also going to take this, I'll just make sure there's no excess, there isn't, and just lightly dust this transition between our darker shades into that shimmer shade that we just put as a quick little pop under the brow. So you want those to seamlessly blend together. So we're just brushing that out. And there we go. Now I do have a trick as well for last two things is a little bit of eyeliner and obviously mascara. So I do want to show you, I'm going to use our Hotline brush. This is the same brush I use to fill in my brows and kind of comb them in place. Boom. But because of this end here, it's like a beveled end, very skinny and on an angle. When I do eyeliners, I don't typically wear eyeliner, but sometimes I want that lash line to get darkened up a little bit. So I'm going to show you how you can apply a liner, especially if you're not used to wearing eyeliners, in a strategic way that doesn't give you just this big dark eyeliner line, okay? So I'm going to use the Hotline brush. I'm also going to go into that same color Trust that I've been using. And what I'm going to do is actually place it right in and tap it right into my lash line. Then I'm just going to close my eye if it's easier for you to do it that way versus looking right in. And I'm just pressing and kind of like wiggling back and forth into my lash line. Do you see how that just darkened it up compared to this side? That's a perfect way to darken that lash line, giving you the illusion of fuller lashes, thicker lashes, especially there at the base, without adding that big bulky line. It's the perfect way. So we're just kind of tapping and smudging it in to the lashes versus on top of the lashes or above. And I don't go all the way across. You could. I kind of stop right there in the middle and have the thickness looking on the outside and a little more sparse or whatever the word is there on the inside. Okay, before I put the mascara on, I'm just going to grab my detail brush. This is the one I use to contour with and brighten with. And because this is my brightening side, I'm just going to gently tap and kind of clean up this bottom line here. So I'm just very gently brushing that in an upward motion. And that's going to help clean up that line. Same on this side. Get any of that fallout off and just clean up the eyeshadow a little bit. So you see it just blends together so much better. Okay, then the last step obviously is mascara. So my favorite mascara is Thrive Liquid Lash Extension. And I like it because this mascara actually creates like a silicone tubing almost around each individual lash. It's waterproof. It doesn't, you know, get on my lower lash line and lids throughout the day. It's just by far my favorite so far. I should do a little test to see if I still like it against others. Okay, I should get closer so you guys can really see this eyeshadow. It's bomb. Okay, so I start right at the baseline and wiggle, and then kind of blink through it, like so. So you can see it's starting to thicken up and deepen that lash line right at the base. And then I just start blinking my lashes through the rest. When I get this side all coated, so I've got a good base and coat all on that side, then I turn it. I don't add any more product, but I actually go on the inside between my lashes and my lid and just brush out on the inside. This just helps to ensure that both sides have that coverage and giving you the most length and fullness. Oh, I did just do that, didn't I? Like so. Look at those lashes. I do use a lash serum, ladies. I get asked that all the time. It is by Hello Skincare, and I do have a link for it in my bio if you'd like to get a tube. It does have a, I think it says it's a 3-month supply. I use it as often as I remember, which you're supposed to do it at least just once a day at basically nighttime before you go to bed. I am not the best at remembering all the time to take my makeup off and put the lash serum on. I still have my 3-month supply tube 6 months later. So I will just disclose that it can be extended out a little bit than the 3 months that it says. And then I'm just hitting those lower lashes. But I do recommend, obviously, for best results to use it, you know, religiously every single night. But if you don't, I mean, it's still going to work, right? Okay, so since we have a little bit of this mascara that I now have on my lids, I'm just going to go back and take the spoolie end and just scrape it gently off. What this does is helps to remove the mascara without removing the eyeshadow that you just put on. So I'm just very gently scraping that off. It's just like a little tip I have, a little trick to get in there and get those little flakes off. Because my lashes are so long, I have this trouble, seriously, all the time, where I just open my lashes a little too quickly after putting my mascara on, and then I get it on the top. But can you see this very basic, beautiful eyeshadow look? I love it. I think it's so, it's a little bolder, but yet it's so natural looking. The shades are beautiful. So once again, I use the colors Rome, Foxy, Trust, and my Illuminator Glamazing. So that's what I use to create this amazing look. Again, if you guys are interested in your own compact, that will give you your full foundational system, all of your main shades, your contours, your bronzer, illuminator, lip and cheek colors, and all your eyeshadows, setting powder, illuminator in one compact, which comes in various sizes. This is kind of like the Mac Daddy of sizes, and we can obviously size down depending on your needs and budget and all that good stuff. So hit me up. I would love to help you get your own compact and answer any questions that you guys may have. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.